Dongin's party stands still as they feel the tremor, wondering what's going on. Suddenly, a system interface appears before Dongin, granting him an O Ionju party quest to finish off the giant snake. He stares in shock. Then they spot the giant snake looming before them. Dongin quickly decides to attack, hurling a spear at it. The weapon lands with a terrific blow to the snake's head. The giant snake is notorious for eating its prey alive, and that's no small matter. A living creature struggling inside its belly could pose serious danger, which is why the snake typically uses venom to paralyze its prey or strangles them until they suffocate before swallowing. However, this only applies to prey of a certain size. Something tiny, like a mouse, barely registers as a threat, so the snake swallows it alive without hesitation. The snake swallows the mouse, unaware of the consequences that are about to unfold. At that moment, Jaehyun activates the warehouse. There are two usable skills, warehouse and shop. He summons gas through the mouse inside the snake, filling the creature's insides. Then he summons flaming tissue, triggering a powerful combustion, a massive explosion from within the giant snake. Yejin is caught in the blast's aftershock. Jaehyun quickly asks if she's okay. She smiles and assures him she's fine, just a little startled. He praises her for doing a great job, then turns his attention back to the situation unfolding at the subway station. Using his absolute eyes, he carefully observes the battlefield, reasoning that he shouldn't register the giant snake as his own kill. Instead, he wants the beast to be slain by vassals who have earned the knight title, Dongin and Ionju. That way, he'll gain 6 times the experience and rewards. Dongin throws a spear with great force, hitting the giant snake directly on its head. The attack causes a devastating impact, shaking the massive creature. At the same time, Ionju activates her transformation ability. Her body changes, and she moves quickly, striking the snake multiple times with powerful blows. Together, Dongin and Ionju work as a team, combining their strength and skills. Eventually, their efforts are enough to bring the giant snake down. The monster collapses, defeated. As a result of their victory, they gain a large amount of experience points. In addition, Jaehyun receives a deposit of 1,812,043,879 won into his home wallet. Since Dongin and Ionju have successfully defeated the boss monster of Siamayan Station, Jaehyun now has permission to build an outpost at that location. Their skill levels increase as well, and the level of the home domain declaration rises to level 15. Because of this, Jaehyun earns 3 extra skill points. Suddenly, Jaehyun feels a sharp pain in his chest. He holds it tightly as a large purple orb begins to appear around the entire estate. A system message appears, notifying him that a being who meets the requirements for citizenship has been discovered. Jaehyun quickly realizes that the number of people involved is around 200. With this knowledge, he gives permission for them to receive citizenship. The system updates again and shows that the total number of citizens has now reached 1,000. Because of this milestone, all citizens unlock a new benefit called the base pay skill. This special skill gives every citizen an extra 100% experience and profit from their actions. Jaehyun studies this new effect and understands that it will apply even if someone has a low or even 0 shares set by him. To confirm this, Jaehyun checks the stats of Kim Miho. He sees that Miho is now at level 17. His trust point is at 57, and his loyalty point is at 13. Miho does not have any awakened ability yet. His experience share is currently set at 70%, and his profit share is 30%. However, due to the base pay effect, the total gain is increased by an additional 100%. Jaehyun now fully understands what the base pay skill means. Even if a person's share is set to 0%, they will still gain full experience and profit equal to what they earn. At that moment, Yejin reaches out to him and asks if her group can be brought over. Jaehyun agrees to her request, and this makes Yejin feel very happy and thankful. Then, he checks if Yejin is able to control the mouse again. She responds with enthusiasm and confirms that she can. With this in mind, Jaehyun tells her to guide the group by leading them with the mouse. Yejin takes control of the mouse and begins to direct his group so they can safely follow it to their destination. Dongin's party follows the small mouse through the underground subway tunnel. As they move forward, they come across a strange sight, a group of orcs lying lifeless on the ground. The area is filled with the stench of blood and the quiet stillness of recent battle. Yeonju quickly points out that she didn't fight them. She says she found them already dead, just like that. The group looks around and begins to realize that the place was once an orc territory, possibly a small settlement or patrol route. They decide to keep moving. Although the giant snake has already been taken down, Dongin warns the others not to relax. He says that it's too soon to let their guard down, as there could still be hidden monsters waiting nearby. The tunnels are dark and vast, and no one knows what might be lurking deeper inside. The mouse stops for a moment, turning to look at them. It lets out a few squeaks and waves its tiny paw, motioning for them to keep following. Dongin watches the mouse closely and remarks that it's surprisingly smart. The group begins to wonder whether the mouse is part of Jaehyun's abilities, perhaps a summon creature or something linked to one of his special skills. Elsewhere, Jaehyun continues to observe the group through his absolute eyes ability. His vision stretches across the distance, allowing him to watch them clearly. He scans the area and thinks that there are no major threats nearby, for now. With a bit of relief, he shifts his focus to the system interface in front of him, where 3 unused skill points are waiting. He begins to consider where to invest these points. Since their activities and territory are expanding, he decides that the first priority is to strengthen the eyes of the Absolute One skill. This skill works especially well with Yejin's abilities, so improving it makes their teamwork more effective. As soon as he selects the upgrade, a sharp pain runs through his head. He grabs his temples, trying to stay steady. At the same time, Dongin's party encounters a group of goblins. These goblins are about level 8 and they live in packs. They're not as mindless as they seem. They have enough intelligence to use tools like spears and clubs. They're fast, dangerous in numbers, and have surprisingly sharp vision. Even in the dark caves of the subway tunnels, they can spot movement from far away and recognize objects with ease. Watching this unfold, Jaehyun realizes that this kind of visual ability would be incredibly useful for exploration and survival. He begins to think about hunting similar monsters himself, perhaps to acquire a related trait or skill. He also reflects on his current plans. Since he wants to reduce the cost of resurrection, he needs to start giving quests to others, allowing them to handle more of the work while still growing stronger. This will not only save resources, but also build experience across his group. Then, he turns his attention to another important skill, dignity maintenance. As he meets more people and the population grows, trust and loyalty become even more important. Their opinions of him will affect morale, cooperation, and even performance. With that in mind, he decides to spend another point to level up dignity maintenance. Just as he finalizes the upgrade, a sudden sound echoes through the air, a sharp, loud gunshot. It rings out in the distance, cutting through the quiet. Jaehyun's attention snaps toward the sound, his expression turning serious.